We'll be live!
Hello!
I miss this so much. You're going like that. Hello. No. I used to hear that twice a week. Now that it's once a week, I always miss it. I tried to copy that on the Secular Rarity show with Harris. Yeah. Hi guys, we're gonna be covering the news. We have 10 different news items on atheism, secularism, and everything. And it's a very global news coverage. It's all over the place, and it's the most global. It's the most global atheist news show anywhere on the internet. I challenge you to find a more global stream than us that covers as many countries and has a more global perspective than us. And by the way, speaking of global, please let me know in the live chat where you're watching from, because it's not just the news coverage that is global, it's also that our audience that is very global. So please let me know so that we could, look at. I always like seeing that. So just
give a shout out. Give us a little flag emoji. Let's give shout outs.
I knew Prometheus is gonna say this every time saying hi from Elysium. Yeah, okay. And I always this is inaccurate. Prometheus would not have been allowed. Okay, sorry.
I'm so annoyed with you saying that every week.
Pakistan, India, Sri Lanka, New Zealand. Look at these answers. This is amazing. Yeah. Oh, look, guys, we're back on Facebook as well. And okay, Susie, come back.
I'm back.
Tell us. Oh, look, we have 2 from Sri Lanka today. Okay, that's amazing. That's because we're not banned on Facebook. We're not banned in Sri Lanka, but we are banned in India, unfortunately, on Facebook. Oh, look at this. Katie's here. So, yeah, a lot of people active in our live chat are members too. Oh, Nashville, Tennessee. That's great. So Susanna, now let people know how international news coverage is. What countries are we covering? By the way, I will keep highlighting the. If you tell me where you're watching from, if I notice it, I will keep highlighting them. But yeah, what countries are we covering today?
So this week, actually, we have a disproportionate amount of news from India this week. We haven't had this much news from India in 1 week in like a long time. We also have news from Pakistan, Iran, the US, Malaysia, Iraq, and again, the US. Well, very special news. So guys, some of you might be aware that yesterday was a giant call for global protests in support of Iran that were centralized into certain major cities. And I am here in Los Angeles, and that means that I attended the largest protest of Iranians outside of Iran in history yesterday. And so make sure to stay tuned to the end of the show, because we are going to be like reviewing all the photos and stuff that I took.
You're going to be sharing your pictures and videos as well?
Yeah.
Of you in the protest? Amazing. Oh, yeah. Guys, stay tuned for that. Yes. Thank you. That's great. How many non-Iranians did you see there other than yourself?
Like quite a few. I mean, more than I'm used to, right? But I mean, it was just a sea of Iranians, that by far.
Yeah, I just think like this support of non-Iranians is very special, because it kind of demonstrates that we're all in this together, and this is a global fight for liberalism and democracy. So I really appreciate that you were there. But we could talk about that later when we get to it. So something I don't remember is asking the same question I wanted to ask. So she's asking, are we going to be tortured today, Susie? And if yes, what is our safe word? But so the news, guys, let's have a safe word for when Susie is torturing us.
Oh, wait, no. We figured this out before. Our safe word is the Shahada.
Oh, no.
But that's too long.
I don't think people here would use the safe word. I think that if you're actually telling them that you're torturing them, they would like it too much, and they will never safe word. But today, the news is how bad is it?
An easier one could just be takbir.
Yeah, guys, do the Allahu Akbar. Is the news? But how torturous is the news? Is it horrible?
Not that bad. It'll piss off Hindu nationalists, but that like so it's torturous for them. But we do that every week, anyway. So
that makes it good. Then that makes it okay. Good. So good, guys. Today is not that depressing, so we could relax a little bit. Thank you so much, Susanna, for going easy on us this week. But yeah, let's get started. So.
I'm merciful and I'm benevolent.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you're a kind mistress. But yeah. All right, can we get started? What's the first news?
This first news. Oh, you know it's gonna be good, guys. Get ready for some fun. Okay, Armin, clap with me now.
Okay. First news. Okay, Indians asked to celebrate Cow Hug Day instead of Valentine's Day. No Valentine's Day. Wow.
We're doing Cow Hug Day 2023. Let's get into it. Okay. India's Animal Welfare Board has issued an appeal calling to not celebrate Valentine's Day and instead use February 14th to celebrate Cow Hug Day. The board claimed that hugging cows will, quote, bring emotional richness and increase individual and collective happiness. In Hinduism, the country's largest religion, cows are considered sacred since they represent Mother Earth. The appeal criticized Western culture and argued that, quote, the dazzle of Western civilization has made our physical culture and heritage almost forgotten. The board's assistant secretary, Prachi Jain, stated that the appeal applies to all states and all territories in India. However, after widespread criticism from the political opposition and mockery on social media, the Indian government withdrew its appeal to celebrate February 14th as Cow Hug Day.
Wow. Amazing. By the way, this idea that hugging a cow is good for you, and it's like, I think they're selling it as if it's specific to cows, but I think Harris was mentioning this yesterday as well. Generally, just hugging any animal, most animals, not any animal, don't go hug a bear or something. But like you could do that with a dog, and you get the same kind of endorphins and feeling. I mean, should you be hugging cows? Are cows okay with being hugged?
Well, Armin, this is a very good question. And in fact, if you go into the show notes, I have a video that we can show that demonstrates the problem of this. Because the first thing that I thought, as someone who has, some familiarity with animals, okay, I've been on a farm, nope, wrong one, the first news. This is the wrong one.
Wrong. Okay.
Is that if you have been around like a horse, the first thing you learn when you're introduced to this horse is stay the F away from this horse, because that thing can kick you, or like a mule, a donkey, and seriously injure you. If you get kicked, you're going to be hurt. You're going to break your ribs. And so I found this video on Instagram. I don't know if this is a recent video or if this is an old video, so I don't know if the caption is accurate. But the caption is when BJP leader went to celebrate Cow Hug Day. So Armin, please play this video, and let's see how do you approach a cow to hug it anyway? Let's see how it went.
Okay. What is this? Okay.
See?
Okay. Wait, he's gonna go like second attempt. I did. I said no.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh hell no, we're not doing this. Never mind."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
Like,
is
never mind.
that is such
Play it again. Let's see
bad
that first kick. Let's see that first kick
Yeah.
one more time. I think she maybe got him.
Oh,
Really?
she's like, don't. She's like, not happy, dude. Like, did you not get the message? No means no.
Yeah, no
Oh, wait.
consent. No consent. And the caption made me laugh so hard. It says, Cow Hug Day should be strictly celebrated under the supervision of Gal Rakshaks. Don't try it at home. So Gal Rakshak is like a cow protector. You know, so these are the same kind of like oh, I'm getting an echo. Guys, the cow basically they're saying it should only be celebrated in the supervision of cow vigilantes. And yeah, Katie is saying, pretty sure someone in the government tried this and got gored by a bull or something, so they had to repeal it. I don't know if that's the video of what we just saw, but yeah, I thought it was pretty funny. Qasim's comment is so funny. I don't recommend that Indian bulls like Bagherati. Really Bagherati.
Yeah, this is actually not good for the cat. Why were people complaining? Because this is not just us making fun of this, okay? People were India were criticizing this. What was their concern about the huggy cow thing?
Well, okay, if you scroll, they just think it's ridiculous, right? And especially the claims that they're making. So let me give you some more claims that the government made or government body made about this. It is we all know that the cow is the backbone of Indian culture and rural economy, sustains our life, represents cattle wealth and biodiversity. The appeal read, it is known as Kamdihenu and Gaumata because of its nourishing nature that is like a mother and giver of all, providing riches to humanity. And then this is what really gets me. Quote, Vedic traditions are almost on the verge of extinction due to the progress of Western culture over time. And the dazzle of Western civilization has made our physical culture and heritage almost forgotten. Therefore, all cow lovers may also celebrate February 14th as Cow Hug Day, keeping in mind the importance of the mother of the cow and making life happy and full of positive energy. So
This is a government document. This is a government document?
Yes.
Incredible. Guy, India, what are you doing? India, what are you doing? What the hell? This is embarrassing. I'm embarrassed on behalf of you.
India already has like an extensive system of like cow hospitals, right? That's like basically better than what's available to humans in many states. So this isn't surprising to me at all. But the claim that Vedic traditions are almost on the verge of extinction and that Western civilization has made people almost forget their heritage is such, I mean, granted, I'm a Western woman, you know, I'm mindful of my own bias, but the idea that the culture of the subcontinent is going extinct is so incredulous to me because I see India as a globally dominant cultural powerhouse. Like, the culture that comes out of India is so popular all over the world. Like, the idea that it's going extinct is just, like, you sound extremely insecure to me because I see your culture celebrated everywhere. Maybe it's just my community. I don't know. But
I have a different take.
Go for it.
I think this is such a self-own because you wanted to show that we have better culture than Valentine's Day. But this is such a self-own because people like, this is why, I mean, you were competing and now you lost. I mean, people were not comparing. People were not comparing, but now they are.
But now they're going to.
Well, now they're going to. We're like, okay, well, this is why we do Western culture, I guess, because we don't want to get kicked by a cow. I'd rather go on a date and buy roses for my girlfriend than get kicked in the balls by a cow.
Yeah, break a rib. And now I have these medical bills.
Maybe Western culture is superior. I don't know. Maybe like
no, but
maybe
Armin,
more.
If you scroll down in this article, because we have some hilarious memes in here made about Cow Hug Day. Okay. Farther down. Here we go. So
oh, this is so good. I love
so
this
good.
one.
So in this cartoon, if you can't see it, is a cow standing up on its legs and saying, "Hug me." And then you see a Muslim man running away from the cow and saying, "No."
Wait. Say it again. You got disconnected.
So it's a
Susanna,
Muslim man
wait, guys.
saying-
Susanna is in a hotel, so her connection is bad. Say it again. Explain it again. Go back. So
the
say it
cow
again.
is standing up and saying, "Hug me." And a Muslim man is running away and saying, "No, the box will name this love jihad." So if you don't understand this, what this means is that if the Muslim man is scared that Hindu extremists will see him hugging a cow and basically claim that he's trying to seduce that cow to become a Muslim.
That's really good.
Like, I can't hug you because they'll accuse me of love jihad.
That's fantastic. I love it.
That made me laugh super hard. And then, wait, play this one, but make sure to not play the audio because it's really funny. There's
Okay. Music.
Copyrighted music. Yeah, exactly.
Copyrighted music. Okay. Wait, there's music for me. I know. Okay, here. All right. So you wanted this. You should describe what it is.
There's a woman doing the classic Instagram pose of you just see the man holding the hand.
Oh, that's good. Wait, one more time.
It's a woman holding, the hand of a man that is off screen, and she's, looking very pretty, just running. And then it cuts to a man trying to hang on to a cow and getting dragged behind the cow through a field.
Guys, like, you see, this is so bad because you were trying to. I mean, nobody was thinking like, oh, Indian culture isn't fair. I mean, some people are, but not that many people are thinking like, oh yeah, Valentine's Day, the superiority of Western culture. People weren't thinking that. People were like,
no, that's what the right-winger Hindu nationalists think. Because in India, people don't know, they've had this problem with Valentine's Day for years. Like, this isn't a new thing. Like, Bajrang Dal, will go street vigilante and assault couples who are just holding hands in the park, drag them out of restaurants, and force them to get married for being seen on public on Valentine's Day. I know friends who are like, we cannot go out in public on Valentine's Day, let alone with a male friend. If you're out in public on Valentine's Day with a male friend, you could get carted off and forcibly married to that dude. You're not even a couple. You're just standing next to a man on Valentine's Day. And these people are so freaking psycho about it that they will assault you or force you to get married.
Yep.
How is this allowed to keep continuing every year? I don't understand.
I don't know. But the point, that's very interesting. But the point I'm trying to make is that you have created what you feared, okay? Because the good thing about culture is that you could enjoy all of them, right? Mm-hmm. You don't have to check your DNA or your background to be like, can I enjoy this culture? Yes, you can.
Have to.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to, right? So you could wherever you're from, you could enjoy Japanese culture, you could enjoy Indian culture, you could enjoy Middle Eastern culture, you could enjoy American culture. Okay, whatever you choose, it's like whatever you like. If you're in India, you could enjoy Indian culture and American culture. You could do both. People who are enjoying both in India, okay, they're not often comparing like, I think the Western culture that I'm enjoying is superior to the Indian culture that I'm enjoying. No, they go to the Diwali and they also go on Valentine's and they enjoy both of them. Okay, so it wasn't a competition. You thought it was a competition and now you've turned it into a competition and you've lost. Now, because of you, people are thinking, I think American culture is superior to hugging cows. Maybe it is. Maybe so great. Congratulations. You played yourself. So it's your fault. By the way, to be fair to Indian culture, it did not involve hugging cows, right? So you're destroying Indian culture. You're making Indian culture and you're degrading it. So it's so this was not a thing. This is a new thing that you're making it worse.
Are you happy?
Are you happy now?
Oh wait, this is a good comment from Katie. Post Valentine's week, 2 of my atheist friends, one from a Brahmin family and another from a Muslim family, are getting married. Wonder what the box will have to say about Valentine's jihad.
Oh,
That's funny.
jihad.
For those who don't know, Bhakt is like a term. It means devotee. Bhakti means like devotee, and it's also slang for someone who's like very super religious, aggressively religious Hindu.
It was a movement that started at the same time Islam was being introduced to the subcontinent.
Yeah.
Right. Which has made some experts suggest, and I don't know if this is true, but if it is, it's quite ironic that the Bhakti movement happened because of the influence of Islam, because of the level of devotion that Islam had to their deity, started Indians to adapt to that and also have some devotions to this level of devotions to their gods. So it would be, if this is true, and I'm not saying this because some random YouTuber conspiracy theorist is saying this, okay? This is based on what I've seen some experts say. If it is true, then it's quite ironic that the people who have a huge problem of anti-Muslim bigotry, the whole movement was a copy of Islamic ideology. So, yeah, so see, like, exactly, Prometheus is saying Bhakti movement is mixed with Sufi culture. So Sufi is like Islamic, basically. Yeah.
Man, the Sufis make some good music. Say what you will about the Islamic part of it. The Sufis make some freaking good music. I've been listening to a lot of Qawwali recently.
Okay.
Yeah, so more of the story is, my friends, especially in India and also Pakistan, because I know Pakistan has some issues with Valentine's Day too. Valentine's Day is coming up this week. Please stay safe, you guys. Everyone else, I hope you either, have fun with your partner or eat some chocolate. Eat some very cheap chocolate.
Oh, like former Sufi Muslim, and I agree. Okay,
That's
so
what's
somebody
up.
from Pakistan, Zeke from Pakistan again, is asking what's the meaning of Bakht? It's like devotee, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that was the original meaning anyways.
Yeah. Now, okay, so it still has that meaning, but now because we cover the news, we often see it being used as radical Hindu or kind of interchangeably being used. But I think it's unfair because Bhakti is not it's not necessarily that, right? That's why Aristotle has came up with a new term calling these crazy dogmatic radicals. He calls them Tunnis. I don't know if that's a better term or not. He knows more about these things. But again, so Bakht is usually just refers to a wider thing, which is a wider movement, which is just being devoted to your Hindu gods. But now people sometimes use it as slang to refer to some radical, crazy people.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Can we clap for the next news?
Yes. Oh, speaking of Pakistan, this is wild.
Oh, speaking of Pakistan. By the way, we had recent updates about this news. Did you guys hear this? They undid this. Okay, good.
Yes.
Next news.
Pakistan bans Wikipedia for blasphemous content. It's a little too on the nose. You know what I mean? It's like you expect this kind of thing, but at the same time, you're like, wow, you're really going to go this far? But let's get into it. Let's talk about what happened.
Signaling like we're anti-knowledge, basically. That's how it sounds like. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So what happened? On February 3rd, Pakistan's Telecommunications Agency, or PTA for short, Telecommunications Authority, the PTA, blocked Wikipedia and its other projects in Pakistan over accusations of not removing allegedly sacrilegious content. Wikimedia Foundation revealed that they received a notification from the Pakistani authorities on February 1st, saying that their services have been, quote, degraded for 48 hours after failing to remove, quote unquote, unlawful content. Then, despite not communicating what the supposed offensive content was so that Wikipedia could take appropriate action, the warning was extended into a total ban. The move was heavily criticized on social media, arguing that the ban was regressive. Pakistan's Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif ordered the government to restore Wikipedia's services on February 6th. The ban was lifted after 3 days. The Wikimedia Foundation expressed its gratitude by saying that the lifting the ban, quote, means that the people of Pakistan can continue to benefit from and participate in the growth of a global movement to spread and share knowledge that is verified, reliable, and free. Many Pakistani users expressed their embarrassment at their government's actions.
Aw, I'm sorry, guys. Don't be embarrassed. It's not you, okay? Again, guys, it makes no sense to be proud or embarrassed of what other people who are, share the same country with you do. You're only responsible for the things you have done. Okay, so pride and shame by association does not make any sense. So if you're Pakistani, don't be ashamed of this. It wasn't you. Okay, but this is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's good. Like, let's give credit. They did undo it, so there's some sanity there. Right?
I know, and what I find very interesting is the PTA, the Pakistani Telecommunications Authority, is like, if you've ever made a tweet on Twitter that was blasphemous or mocking Muhammad or posting a Charlie Hebdo cartoon, and you get a notice that this tweet is illegal in Pakistan and is going to be, there's like a complaint that was filed and it's going to be removed for a Pakistani audience, the body that's responsible for making that happen, sending you those notifications on Twitter that your tweets got banned, that's the PTA. That's what they do. They control. So when we hear ridiculous things about an ad campaign that got banned from some very bizarre interpretation of it being blasphemous, or movies and stuff, this is all the PTA. We've talked about essentially what they've been doing for a very long time. But this is taking it to a whole different level. Like, what, to be clear, by their standards, there genuinely is a lot of sacrilegious things on Wikipedia. By their standards, certainly.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know. Like the theory of evolution?
Oh, yes.
Like, explaining what Salman Rushdie did. Maybe what's blasphemous is the synopsis of the Satanic Verses. Maybe what's blasphemous is the article that's about the artwork called Piss Christ. That's blasphemous for Muslims too, technically. Maybe it's the information that they have on Wikipedia about the Ahmadiyya.
That's you think alike, I was like looking at this.
But they didn't even tell Wikipedia what was blasphemous.
I think
they
this
just
is
said
the
you
main
have
one.
Unlawful content here, and if you don't take action, we're going to ban you in 2 days. They didn't even tell them how to correct the quote-unquote mistake, and then went ahead and banned them. And Wikipedia put out a very thoughtful statement about how this is denying knowledge to the world's 5th most populous country.
I do think, all the Wikipedia articles aside, all of them, all the problematic articles aside, on one side, the Ahmadiyya page on one side, the main issue would be the Ahmadiyya page. This is the page that I think the Pakistan government would have the most issue with, especially because I see Muslim here. This is claiming that Ahmadiyyas are Muslim. I don't think. Look, it's even saying that it's an Islamic revival movement.
Oh my God.
Or no.
Oh my God. I'm feeling takfiri right now.
Yeah, so I think this is the most sensitive page on Wikipedia in Pakistan. So if you want to learn about Ahmadiyya and to see whether or not they're actually Muslim or not, and if you refer to Wikipedia, that is against the laws of Pakistan to recognize. Guys, in Pakistan, this is such a sensitive issue that you can't even get your passport unless you recognize that Ahmadiyyas are not Muslim. So
it's a constitutional amendment that the state made to declare that they are not Muslim. The state, the national project of Pakistan, is invested in takfiring Ahmadis.
Yeah, so you can be a non-Muslim and you can get your passport. So it's not you have to be Muslim and accept Islam, but you have to accept that the Ahmadiyyas are not Muslim. You have to testify that you agree, or else you're not going to get your passport. Even if you go online application for your passport, there's a checkbox that you agree that Ahmadiyyas are not Muslim. Oh God, that's so obsessive. That these people do not be Muslims, and then you get your passport. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. God damn it.
In the Pakistani passport, this is also a fun fact. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe in like one of the front pages of the Pakistani passport, it says this passport is like recognized in all countries except Israel.
Oh.
Yeah. But
I still think,
that's a detraction. I want to get back to something more important. And this news made me think about something in general. And I want to make a broader point about something. Why we talk about blasphemy a lot. There are a lot of reasons why blasphemy is important. And sometimes we talk about it through the lens of supposed offense, but I want to talk about it through the lens of something much broader and possibly more important. What we need to consider in instances like this is that essentially all scientific advancement began as blasphemies. Because basically all scientific advancement runs contrary to these so-called perfect words of God that came down to us thousands of years ago, right? And so it is necessary not only just for our own free expression, but actually for advancing our prosperity as a human species, that we have the free expression to question and to criticize and to investigate things that we need to have a better understanding of. There shouldn't be things that are held sacred above all else that we are not allowed to criticize because it is too sacred to examine. Like it is literally necessary for scientific advancement. Yeah, Higgs boson right here is saying Copernicus was a blasphemer. Galileo was a blasphemer. And so the issue of blasphemy does not merely extend to, oh, I just want to say something, but people find it a bit taboo, socially taboo. But it extends to the level of what knowledge do people deign us ready or allow us to seek. And the Pakistani Telecommunications Authority wanted to take away the world's largest source of free knowledge away from the world's fifth most largest populous country. And considering, I didn't even think about this until right now, considering the level of, I'm really serious, the level of severe difficulty that Pakistan is facing right now on so many different levels, I can't even name them right now. That this is a priority. You know, it's reflective of a larger problem. Armin, what do you think?
No, I agree with everything you said. And also Katie is pointing out, technically Muhammad was also a blasphemer against all those pagan religions in this time. Yeah. No, that's pretty good. Let's all blaspheme. Yeah. Exactly, Norman. Yeah.
Also, like, Susie is pissed. I am pissed because, like, last year, correct me if I'm wrong, like, up to a third of Pakistan was underwater last year. That level of damage literally will not be recovered for possibly like at least a century. The levels of inflation that Pakistanis are experiencing right now is so severe and threatening to people's livelihoods. Like and then not even to mention that the Pakistani Taliban is like devastating Peshawar and like coming back, and that's a whole other issue. Like I have like genuine sympathy for the nation and what people are going through. It's like, can we just focus on that instead of preventing people from gaining knowledge that would enable the populace to be better equipped to handle these large-scale problems we're facing as a nation? I mean, come on. I just want better. This is why I get frustrated, because I want better for the Pakistani people. That's why.
Well, yeah. I love your passion about it, so thank you for that.
Oh, well, thank you.
I think that's what we need to get people to understand how important this is. By the way, I asked ChatGPT right now if Ahmadis are Muslims. Do you want to see?
Oh, we're going to get juicy.
All right, so ChatGPT responded, Ahmadiyya is a religious... So I asked him, are Ahmadis Muslims? So ChatGPT responds, Ahmadiyya is a religious movement that originated in the late 19th century in the Indian subcontinent and considered itself to be a Muslim community. However, many mainstream Muslim organizations and scholars do not recognize Ahmadis as Muslims, and there is ongoing debate and controversy within the Muslim community about the status of Ahmadiyya. It is important to note that the determination of who is and who is not a Muslim is a complex and sensitive issue that involves religious, social, and cultural factors, and ultimately individual beliefs and self-identification. As an AI language model, I do not take any position on religious matters, so it was just washing his hands off of it. And my goal is to provide a neutral and accurate information. Okay, so I don't. This seems like a cop-out. Like I could ask it, "What do you think about genocide?" Would it say that?
No. Here's a quick question. Ask it. Are Salafis Muslims?
Are Salafis Salafism is a conservative and strict interpretation of Sunni Islam that emphasizes a return to the practices and beliefs of the earliest generations of Muslims, known as the Salaf. Okay, just give me the answer. Salafis consider themselves to be Muslims, and their beliefs and practices are generally recognized as being within the mainstream of Sunni Islam. However, there are different degrees.
Yes.
Huh? Yes. Yes.
The answer is yes. It says, there's different degrees of adherence, but that still means the answer is yes.
Well, it says, however, there are different degrees of adherence to Salafism, and some groups and individuals who identify as Salafis have been associated with extremist and militant views and actions which are rejected by the vast majority of Muslims and are not considered to be representative of mainstream Islamic beliefs and practices. As with any religious movement or denomination, there is a wide range of diversity and interpretation within Salafism, and it is important to avoid generalizations and stereotypes when referring to individuals or groups who identify as Salafi. Yeah, so basically, they have a different ranges of beliefs and stuff, and some of their ideas. But the answer is like they are Muslim. Okay, so ChatGPT is not so sure about Ahmadis being Muslim, but it's sure about. But it's sure about Salafism.
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I have no opinions about Ahmadis. I'm just an AI. You know, who am I to tell? This is sensitive. Salafis, they are Muslim.
ChatGPT is like, I would still like to be able to get use in Pakistan, so I'm not going to answer this question.
Well, I mean, that was no. Wait a minute. The Pakistan answer is still good enough for you to not be accepted. Like the answer is not a straight up. I mean, as much as we don't like this answer either, but Pakistan is not going to answer like this answer either, because the answer to the question.
Oh wait, the answer should be firmly no.
a definite no, not like, oh, there's a debate about this.
It should be a no followed with how dare you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
First of all, how dare you?
Okay. We're gonna have so much fun with AI, asking AI stuff, and like we wonder, and we could compare. Like as we get more competition with ChatGPT, we could be asking different questions. Oh, by the way, me and Harris did a test on Secular Jihad. By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to Secular Jihadists, go subscribe there.
Facts.
Yeah, but me and Harris did a test, right? So we asked whether Muhammad, for example, is racist. And obviously the answer it was like no, right? And then we said, well, what if Muhammad said this? If Muhammad like says this, would that make him racist? And then it would still defend Muhammad. But then we will just put the statement without Muhammad, and we're like, is this statement racist? And we'll be like, yeah, of course this is racist. So if you just say, if Muhammad said this, would it be racist? It was like, nope. But then if you take Muhammad out and just put the statement there and like, is this statement racist? It would say yes. So
wow, it could be we could be talking about Muhammad hijab.
No, it would recognize that we're talking. No, then it's defending all Muhammads, not just for Prophet Muhammad.
I guess so. I have questions.
No, we asked it in a way I think that was clear that we're talking about Prophet Muhammad. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding. And it builds upon your previous questions in a conversation, so it knows the context. But let's go to the next news because this is juicy.
Okay, can we clap for it?
Yes.
Next
news. The Islamic Republic of Iran exposed as the hacker of Charlie Hebdo. So, on February 3rd, security researchers at Microsoft revealed that a hacking team backed by the Iranian regime allegedly stole and leaked private customer data from the French satirical magazine Charlie Hebdo. In January of 2023, the magazine was hacked after it published a series of cartoons mocking and criticizing Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Khamenei and the Islamic Republic. In reaction to the cartoons, Iran publicly summoned the French envoy to Iran, terminated the French Institute of Research activities in the country, and reevaluated France's cultural activities in Iran. A report by Microsoft stated that the cybersecurity attacks were part of a broader digital influence operation whose techniques were highly similar to previous activities connected to the Iranian-backed hacking teams. The report also stated that the hacking group responsible for the cyber attack is reported to be the same one that the U.S. Department of Justice officials identified as having conducted a, quote, multifaceted campaign to interfere during the 2022 presidential elections. Armin, did you hear about this?
No, I'm hearing it from you for the first time. What the hell? What's the purpose of this? What do they aim to? What do you think they would accomplish by doing this?
Here's what they actually did. They hacked the website. God, I'm just saying, hard revenge. They hacked the website and they then stole the subscriber data. And so if you have the subscriber data, that means that you have identifying information about that individual because the individual has to pay, Charlie Hebdo for the access, which means that they have their name and then their billing address and payment information and stuff like that. And so what this hacking group did was it was basically like a ransom attack. And so they said that they were going to, let me pull up the exact number. The hacker group also said in their post that they would sell the details of Charlie Hebdo's subscriber base for 20 Bitcoins, which was worth about $470,000. A sample of the leaked data was released later on and verified by the French newspaper Le Monde. And it said, researchers at Microsoft said this information obtained by the Iranian actor could put the magazine subscribers at risk for online or physical physical targeting by extremist organizations. And then, and this is the funny part, Iranian hackers used social media accounts with fake or stolen identities to further expand their operation and criticize the Khamenei caricatures. Microsoft said that 2 social media accounts pretending to be a Charlie Hebdo editor and a technology executive posted the leaked data before Twitter deleted them. So Microsoft revealed that they a faction of their disinformation campaign on Twitter, because we already know that the regime does this, but they connected it to this specific action as well. The name of this hacking group in support of the regime is apparently called Holy Souls.
Amazing. I think I know why they're doing this, and it goes back to what Qasim is saying. When he said hard revenge, he's referring to a term that the government uses, because they look weak. If they had caricatures of Khamenei, and if they don't respond, they look like they are weak and pathetic, and they can't make their enemies regret what they have done. So they might just do this just to be like, we took their revenge. We showed them that nobody could. It's a thing, by the way, in that culture, you look as weak and pathetic if somebody takes a jab at you and you have nothing to do back. You have to, if you don't look manly and strong if you don't make the other side regret what they have done, right? So I think this hacking incident is just a way, it has a local audience, this news, so that to show, like, look, anybody, they have a saying, they say هر کی با آل علی در افتاد, something like that, means like anybody who attacks the people of Ali will suffer, will be crushed, right? So again, this is just
yeah.
By the way, a lot of people. Oh yeah, actually, let me know when we're done talking about this, because I want to mention something about.
Yeah, we're done with this news.
Yeah. Okay, people are saying, yeah, we have khairat. Exactly, it's khairat. It's about honor. It's about honor. Exactly, Qasim. Exactly. Here's the thing. با آل علی هر که در افتاد بر افتاد. Yeah, okay. He's saying read it right. Like, apparently I wasn't reading it properly. Anyway, so I do want to mention that we understand, guys, because we do news once a week, there are certain things that happens right before we go live, like, or close to going live, that we're not going to be covering in our 10 news items for a week. But yes, we are aware about the thing that just happened in Pakistan. So people are mentioning to us that some much worse news has happened in Pakistan, that we should cover that. Yes, it's already on the things that we're going to be covering.
It'll probably be our top news of the top news of next week.
Yeah, people are saying a man burned alive in Pakistan for blasphemy by mob. I am very scared and depressed. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. And yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that, young atheist.
D was also confirming in the live chat that we will cover it next week. Yes, guys. We thank you for all of you being concerned about this and knowing how important this is, and we recognize it as well. So that's why it will be covered next week for sure. Yeah.
This is just a quick side note, but I wanted to give a special congratulations to Numan, because Numan just became a mod on our Discord. So shouts out to Numan, who was like very excited, reached out to us and wanted to get involved. And you know what? I sent him to the team and I was like, what do we think? Do we give him our approval? And they're like, yes, he can join. So welcome, Numan. We're happy to have you. And that's also another reminder to everyone that you should join our Discord. Link is in the description. There will be people from our community from all over the world. And it's a great place to talk to people and make friends, especially if, like young atheist, you're in Pakistan or a community where you can't talk about your feelings of religion publicly. You can make some friends and, have a place to talk about how you really feel, which is one thing I love about our Discord. So link in the description.
Link in the description, guys. Like, let's get our Discord community active. So join there and make friends and invite other people to our Discord community. Okay. If you guys get the Discord community active, I will spend more time there and come and hang out and like answer questions and stuff like that. So try to get the community active so that we have something there to do when we come. Okay, good.
Also, really quickly before we go to the next news, I'm sorry if I'm having some issues with my voice today because I yelled myself hoarse at the demonstration yesterday. All day.
That was pretty good. That was pretty adorable, actually. That's good. Oh, look at this. This is such a sweet.
Oh, Young Atheist is saying, thanks, everyone. You are my family, and you are all amazing. Thank you. Yes. We care about our Young Atheist friends, especially in dangerous countries. So that's why we're here for you.
Oh, I'm seeing Dr. Ambedkar on the screen. This is clappable news?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Wow, good news. Good news good news related to India.
Wait, really quickly. One-Eyed Heathen is asking, Susanna, can you translate that? So that was half of a chant in Farsi. The full chant is Ta ahund kafan nashabad in batan nashabad, which is saying
oh, God, this is beautiful. I love this.
In Farsi, the translation essentially is like until the mullahs are covered in a funeral shroud, this homeland is not a homeland. So basically, it's a poetic way of saying until these people are dead, this homeland is not a homeland. Yes. So yeah. Ta'ahund, like the mullahs, kafan would be the funeral shroud. Nashabad is like to not become. So en Vatan, the homeland, and then Vatan Nashabad would be like to not become the homeland. So altogether, it's like until the mullahs are shrouded, this homeland is not a homeland.
Do you know what I'm doing right now?
What?
I am putting this time because I'm going to at one point make a collection of all your best Iran-related, revolution-related, rants, right? So I'm just trying to put the timestamp from this one, so that I include it in the parts that I want to clip out. But one day I will. I'm trying to find the time to one day make a video of all the times that you were passionate about the whole thing that happened in Iran and everything you said. So this was at the 51-minute mark. So yeah. If I don't write this right now, I'll forget. Okay, guys, I need somebody.
Good point. He's saying this doesn't mean to K. I'm not gonna say KILL. This does not mean to K the mullahs. Just it's like to remove their role.
Yes,
but
yeah, Iranian chants has a lot of reference to death, and sometimes it might come across as if you're threatening to kill people, but it's just a way. It's a metaphorical way to refer to being against something rather than actually wanting to, So if you say like death to the dictator or death to this, that, it means like down with them or I'm against that,
Yeah.
It doesn't. I mean, sometimes it actually might mean that, but not always.
But here's the thing: for the Iranian opposition chants are so good in Persian, and they're just not nearly as good in English.
Yes.
They're not nearly as good in English.
Yeah, the Magbar dictator sounds a lot more like down to the dictator. No, yeah, you're right. The English version of these chants are not very. Yeah. Anyways. Oh, hi from Ghana. Hello.
Oh, cool.
Yes, Ghana. That's great. That's amazing. I love that.
Sorry, this other comment from Gossam is making me laugh. Anyways, should we do a segment where Armin, should we do a segment where I learn a new shawar every week and I can come to a shawar and teach our audience chants in Persian?
Yes. Yeah, Persian chants. That would be fun. That would be great. Yeah, okay. We could do a whole show on your... Wait, we could have a stream about all your takes on Iran protests and the chants and the culture and the people.
Oh my God, how much time do you have?
We should do that. We should do that one day on Secular Jihadists. I think that
yeah.
Or you could just do it on the Persian show and I could translate. You should come back again and give us your takes. You can make a list and you could just tell us all your takes. Okay, that is fantastic. Come to Clubhouse. Anyways,
we need Babak for that, because then we can, because of all the stuff going on in Vienna, he was involved with that.
Yeah. All right, well, can we clap for the next news? Oh, we did.
Yes.
We did. Okay. Next news.
First ever anti-caste discrimination law introduced in America. On January 24th, District 3 City Council member Kasama Sawant submitted a draft ordinance proposing a law against caste discrimination to the City Council of Seattle, Washington. If approved, this would be the first anti-caste discrimination law in the United States. Sawant wants to add caste discrimination to the list of prejudices outlawed in workplaces in Seattle, which already include gender, age, race, and sexual orientation. Sawant stated at a news conference, quote, "We know that caste discrimination has been growing in the United States across many industries, including technology, construction, restaurants, and the service industry, and in domestic work. Caste discrimination is an increasingly grave contributor to workplace discrimination and bias." Sawant added that the area's elected officials have a duty to address caste discrimination and not let it be invisible in the eyes of the local populace. Several other South Asian organizations, including the Ambedkar Association of North America, Ambedkar International Center, and the Ambedkar King Study Circle, helped Sawant to draft the ordinance. Now, I have this. Well, this is going to be maybe a little bit spicy, because I don't think I'm going to have the opinion on this that most people are thinking. Now, Armin.
Uh-oh.
I am a born and raised Seattleite. This is happening in my city. And to be clear, if this is passed, this would be a law that would only be applicable within the city of Seattle. Only in the city of Seattle. Now, tell me if my thinking is wrong. I don't know how to feel about this.
Wait, your audio got cut again because your crappy Wi-Fi in your hotel. Can you repeat your question again?
Okay. I don't know how I feel about this because I hate this city council member so much.
Oh, her?
Like, I passionately dislike this specific politician because of all of the other BS she has pulled in Seattle. So I don't know how to feel about this because I don't like her. And
okay.
She is a, pardon the expression, but this is just how I feel about it. This woman is like a psycho-socialist. The best news that I heard when I was researching this news is that she announced that this will be her last ever term as a Seattle City Council member. I was like, thank God she's on the way out. So, because I don't like her. I don't like her agendas. I don't like her.
But this action is good. Do you think this action is good?
Sorry, I'm losing my mind.
I'm like asking you, but this one action of her is good, and you're like, okay. So I mean, I don't know what else she has done that you don't like, but can we look at this one action by her in isolation and say that this is good?
Okay, I did not read the language of the ordinance itself. This is just proposed. Okay, this still has to go through an entire process to get improved by the entire city council. I don't know if it will be. I'll read that comment in a second. And so, yeah, to be honest, I did not actually read the language of this proposed ordinance, so I don't know if there's some stuff in there that I wouldn't be into. Because they can sneak some things in there.
In
general, I feel like she probably snuck some socialism into this.
Separate the consequences of this from the individual. The individual is her own judgment. This
Yes.
action itself is going to bring attention to anti-caste discrimination. So this by itself is a positive. The fact that more people are going to be aware of how significant anti-caste discrimination is. By the way, guys, for people who think that we are anti-India for bringing attention to anti-caste discrimination, okay? So may I remind you that casteism is an Indian thing, but anti-casteism...
South Asian.
Okay, it's a South Asian thing, sure. But so is anti-casteism. So, sorry. Yes, sorry, the fight against anti-caste discrimination. That's what I should say. That is also an East Asian thing, South Asian thing. As in, as you see in the picture on the screen, okay? You don't get more Indian than Dr. Ambedkar. And
Facts.
Dr. Ambedkar was, when I think India, I don't think caste discrimination. I think Dr. Ambedkar. And Dr. Ambedkar...
That's hot.
is Dr. Ambedkar is as anti-caste discrimination as you can get. So, so bringing attention to these issues in India, that's not anti-India. It's, because we also get Dr. Ambedkar from India. Yes, okay. Noman who's in India is saying, I am anti-India.
And then young atheist who's in Pakistan is, I am anti-Pakistan.
Guys, don't do that. No.
But I mean, I think what they mean is they're anti-nationalist. They're both very anti-nationalist. You're
don't
anti-nationalist.
No, I'm not.
Nationalism.
Depends on your definition by nationalism. If by nationalism you mean that you believe in the utility of the nation states and the integrity of the borders, then I believe in nationalism. If by nationalism you mean that you believe in the superiority of the people of a nation relative to other people, then I'm not a nationalist. It depends on your definition of nationalism, right? But India, again, see, Katie has a good point, saying that's the father of the Indian constitutions on the cover. How do you get more Indian? Yes, again, for people who say, I hate India, this is, how can you not be happy that this is the father of your constitution, Dr. Ambedkar? This should be a source of admiration and everything. So,
okay, when it comes to the general conversation about solidifying policies that it says it is illegal or against maybe a university's policies to discriminate against someone on the basis of caste, on its face, I'm fully behind it. However, I have to say that I still have a lot of questions remaining about how that would be implemented in real life. The language of that is really important, and we have to be honest. That's not very necessarily the word I want to use. People have genuine concerns that an anti-caste discrimination policy would basically submit South Asian people for an extra level of scrutiny that wouldn't apply to other groups. And I think that could be a genuine concern. And I still have questions about how that would be
sounds more like Christians feeling that they're being discriminated against because of, fighting discrimination against LGBT, for example. Like if Christians come and say, like, I mean, that's a self-report, isn't it? Like if you are,
it could be, but not necessarily.
It's a self-report because if you are Christian and we have LGBT discrimination laws, and we're like, hey, I feel personally attacked, I'm like, well, that says something about you now, doesn't it? Right? So again, I think like if you have laws that is fighting anti-caste discrimination, and you're like, well, I think you're targeting the Hindu community. I'm like, well, that says something. Maybe a little bit of something about the Hindu community if you feel like you're being personally targeted with this law.
No, it's in the fact that when we're talking about caste per se, there are caste systems that exist around the world. Let's be clear. But when we say caste in general, we're referring to the kind that originates out of South Asia, So when institutions or a city is making a law talking about preventing a certain kind of discrimination, they have to define what that means, and they are defining that it originates from a specific part of the global community. And therefore, other people that come from that specific part of the global community are going to be the ones that are examined for exhibiting this specific kind of discrimination, versus a European
It is mostly
person isn't going to be. This would be very unusual for them to get like a accusation of caste discrimination. So
that's fair.
I have had friends who are, let me finish. I have friends that are Atheist Republic members who have said, I hate caste. It's a horrible part of the community that I came from. But I have questions about, will they be scrutinized more than other people because they come from a South Asian community? I think that's a fair question. And that doesn't mean, let me finish, that I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? I still think that overall this is probably a good thing worth pursuing, but I believe that that is a genuine question that needs to be considered carefully. I think that's a fair position.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's fair to be kind of weirded out by me going out and asking an Indian person, if they are a white supremacist, okay? So that would be like, what are you talking about? Okay. So in the same way, it would be weird if I go ask, a Swedish person if they are anti-Dalit, if they have something against Dalits. So, I mean, this is stats, this is reality. I don't know what to do.
But that's what's different. The laws or policies that we have on the books do not use the word like supremacist, like Aryan supremacy. It's like not that they're again. It's about race in general, which is broad and generalized and globalized to all peoples. So that a racism towards one person, it's not singular. It could be going both ways. Da da da. Whereas the caste is very specific for. The caste is very specific towards one community. It's a difficult question. I'm not sure what the answer is, but I don't know. I like to think about these things more in a more complex way. But that comment from Prometheus.
I want to acknowledge, as much as me and Susanna get accused for being anti-Indian, most of the anti-Indian sentiments here on Atheist Republic comes from Indians in our live chats. Okay, so it's not me and Susie. Okay, by the way, we're getting a lot of donations, and I need to address that. First of all, Secular Sakai just donated $100 to our GoFundMe and made us reach the 5,000. So for people who don't know, our GoFundMe is the fund that we have to fight legal, like India. This is India related, because in India me and Susanna have a lot of legal documents filed against us, including police reports. So Secular Sakai just managed to make us reach the 5,000 mark. So thank you so much, Secular Sakai.
That's amazing. This man, he does too much for us. Holy crap.
Also, we got another super chat by
GJ. GJ gave us 22 euros. Wow, thank you, GJ. He's saying, hi, GJ here. By sheer fluke, I woke up in the middle of the night, and your timing stings as usual for everyone in Western Africa and Europe.
We're going to change that, I think.
Well, I mean, we have, this is our show for a North American audience. We have a show for people on the other side of the world and secular jihadists, my friend.
Secular Jihadists, yes. Secular Jihadists is the show that we have for the people in Europe. So go subscribe to Secular Jihadists. Just search for Secular Jihadists. I also want to mention this one. Somebody is like happy that we have Dr. Ambedkar.
Baba Saheb.
Yeah, this is saying, bro, Baba Saheb, what the F is happening?
Bro, in the house.
I also highlighted this, and then after I highlighted, I noticed that the profile picture, it's a weird mix. Is that our logo mixed with Hindu stuff?
No, I mean, it just happens to be a lion and a horse, but the rest of it looks very different.
Susie, we don't have lions and horses on Crest. We have like lions with crowns and horses and unicorns mostly. then this is an exact copy of our logo, and the horse and the lion is like the style
No,
of
it's
our
something
logo.
different. It's different.
It's a circle in the middle and a lion on the left and a
It says
horse on the right. Like,
Galdiva something something.
I know it's a
It's
version of
different.
our logo.
No, it's
Is
not.
this a version of? Okay, this is very similar. And also for the no, it's not. It's okay. I mean, I like it if it's a twist on our logo. I'm not saying it's exactly our logo. I mean, it's inspired. It seems like it's inspired by our logo.
No.
Look,
No. I'm
okay,
looking it up
sure.
right now. This seems old.
Okay. Another comment was by Anne. Anne is saying, "I would like to make new friends here." So Anne is from Ghana, by the way, right? And I actually do want us to build a bigger community in Africa. So this is really good. Okay. Anne is saying, "I would like to make new friends here, and moreover, I love making new friends, guys. This is why you need to go and join our Discord community. Okay, well, let's get that community active. Link to our Discord is in the description. Join our Discord server on Atheist Republic, and we will make that a place where people can make friends and talk to each other and everything. Yeah. So yeah, and Norman would be the admin. So yeah, guys, please do that. Okay, we're gonna try to make and globally connect atheists together on our Discord.
By the way, we're also looking for a moderator on our Reddit. So if anyone is interested in doing that, please contact me.
Yes.
On Instagram or my email, which is Susanna@atheistrepublic.com. I need to advertise that more, actually. Anyways, let's go to the next news.
Oh, yes. I don't have it ready. Let me get the next news.
My God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. Can I clap? This is Malaysian one, right?
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Can I clap?
Yeah.
Okay. Next news.
Malaysian official says Islamophobia should be criminalized. Okay. Recently, a senior Malaysian official suggested criminalizing Islamophobia and demanded a quote-unquote firmer response from Muslim countries in response to the recent events in Sweden involving the burning of the Quran by a far-right activist, Rasmus Paludan. In an interview with the Turkish state-run news agency, Anadolu Agency, or AA for short, Abdul Razak Ahmad said, quote, anything that is Islamophobic can actually be considered as something that is criminal in nature. So much like anti-Semitism is a criminal offense in many other countries. He also stated that only a few Muslim countries, like Turkey and Saudi Arabia, had demonstrated leadership in combating Islamophobia. He stressed that other Muslim countries should be more responsive toward the problem. He pointed out that Western countries need to be, quote unquote, realistic by saying, quote, they can burn 1,000 or 1 million Qurans, but you can never eliminate the teaching of Islam from the hearts and minds of the Muslims. While countries While countries like Canada have taken steps to combat anti-Muslim bigotry amid attacks against Muslims, countries like Malaysia have long penalized speech and acts insulting Islam and even criminalized apostasy. So, okay, I need a second to go on a rant here. So, here's the deal. Last week, we talked about how Canada, as a country, has recently established a new, first ever special representative on combating Islamophobia. That is the official title of this representative. And we talked about how, while that woman who was given that position has her fair share of controversy herself, regardless, the purpose of that position is to advise the government on how to help prevent bigotry towards Muslims who have experienced deadly attacks in the Canadian nation. This is a goal, a vision, a value that we share because we are liberals and we fight for the protection of minorities. We fight for pluralism. But when we talked about that story, we talked about why it is honestly a bit devastating that the official title of this position contains the word Islamophobia in it. And this story with this Malaysian official is the exact reason why. Because this official is saying that quote unquote Islamophobia needs to be made illegal. And when he says that, because I can give you more statements for him so we all have the proper context, right? But I can tell you that his context is about insult criticism to Islam. Based on the parts of the interview that I saw translated, it does not talk about the safety of Muslims once. It is about the sanctity of Islam and protecting that. And so this is why using the word Islamophobia when we're talking about the real threat that some people face is such a giant disaster, especially coming from a Western liberal democracy like Canada, because it validates the same language that this freaking Malaysian official uses in a country where saying, I don't want to be a Muslim anymore is criminalized. And this is a little bit of a sidebar, but when he's like, these Western countries, they need to be realistic. They can never eliminate the teachings of the Quran from the minds of millions of Muslims. You can burn all the ones you want, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we all know that. You guys have Hafiz, like you memorize it. Then why are you acting so freaking insecure about the whole situation? Okay, I needed to get that out of my system. Armin, go ahead.
I mean, that is such a good point, Susie. I want people to completely understand what Susie is saying. Okay, so Canada taking action to fight against anti-Muslim discrimination, that's a good thing. We want to see that. Okay, I'm making that what Susie said. I'm trying to simplify it. That's good. Calling it Islamophobia, it's problematic. And you guys, so many people think that maybe we're being too picky. Who cares what they call it if they are fighting the right thing? We are acknowledging that anti-Muslim bigotry is the real thing and that it needs to be fought against. So if they're calling anti-Muslim bigotry Islamophobia, who cares? We all know that we need to be on the right side of standing against anti-Muslim bigotry. They're calling it Islamophobia. Get over it. But Susie is now showing you, using this news article to show you what the problem is. Because Islamophobia is a term that is meant for many people, for most Muslims, I would say, to be referring to fighting Islam, saying things against Islam. It's not about people. It's not about attacking Muslims. Okay, we want to protect Muslims. We don't want to protect Islam. And because that is the wide meaning of Islamophobia, the main meaning of Islamophobia is about people's positions against the religion, not about Muslims themselves. When you in Canada, one of the most advanced countries, one of the most liberal countries in the world, that is seen as a role model to free speech, secularism, liberalism, comes and says that we have now government officials that is meant to focus in fighting Islamophobia. Now you are normalizing the idea that this is now the global standard to be against Islamophobia. But what does Islamophobia mean in other places? It means this. And now Canada has led the way. This is why using the right words are so important. And I'm so glad that Susanna is like, because I wasn't gonna think it wouldn't have crossed my mind to connect these together and make that point. So well done, Susanna. Amazing.
Oh, I thank you. I mean, I think because when we talk about the problem we have with the Canadian situation, it can be, people can be like, we're trying to help people not get like assaulted for their for being beliefs or being a minority. Like, what's the problem with that? And this news, in contrast, helps highlight why we have that contention. Because let's hear another quote from this politician just to make this even more clear about what this is really about. Quote, I think our concern about Islamophobia is really about the globalization of Islamophobia, how Islam has been misinterpreted, how Islam has been subject to hatred by people who have a minimum understanding of the religion. It's a very narrow understanding of the religion itself. So, and then he goes on to say, freedom of expression, freedom of thought, freedom of speech can never be at the expense of undermining other people's religion, undermining faith, or undermining coexistence. Notice how he said that Islam has been subject to hatred, not Muslims have been subject to hatred.
This is exactly why you get a bigger reaction from these people when the Quran is being burned than when Muslims are being attacked. Individual Muslims are even being killed, right? This is why you see on Atheist Republic, which is a channel that is against Islam and other religions, that our channel, okay, the amount of attention that we have brought to the discriminations against Muslims in China and in India is more than all the main English Islamic channels combined. So you could see more videos on Ali Dawah, Muhammad Hijab, all these other Smiles with Jannah, all these main English Islamic channels. You could see more videos about them talking about Quran burnings or people having positions against Islam than talking about the way Muslims are being treated in India and in China. Mostly in China, actually. Let's focus on that, right? Mm-hmm. But at Atheist Republic, we have, if you add all the times that these people have talked about Muslims in China, all these channels combined together, it will be less than this atheist channel bringing attention to that. Because this channel apparently cares more about Muslims than those Islamic channels, because they care about protecting Islam, not protecting Muslims. So we have to show the difference here.
Yeah. I mean, I think they care about protecting Muslims, but just not as much as protecting Islam.
Not as much. Yeah, not as much. Yeah. Because it's more about, because protecting Muslims is the dunya. Protecting Islam is about the akhirat, right? So it's basically the competition of what matters in this life and what matters in the afterlife. So Muslims being attacked, hurt, it doesn't take away their afterlife. It takes away this life, and this life is not permanent. So even if you, kill or abuse Muslims, all you have done is you have caused some misery for them in their temporary life. But taking away Islam, the Quran, the religion, someone's deen, someone's belief, that is more damaging, because that will take away their eternal life. So that's why the priority is over the religion rather than the Muslims in this life. Yeah.
This guy also had some very interesting comments, basically praising Turkey's soft power that I would want to get into, but it's getting a little bit too detailed for probably most of our audience. But there was one more point I wanted to make, because this is important. So this politician, the senior official, he talked about how, there are places in the world where anti-Semitism is illegal, so therefore Islamophobia, quote unquote, should be illegal. And I looked this up, and based on my understanding, which I can't look up every law in the world, right? But a little bit of research I did, when people say anti-Semitism is illegal, what my understanding is that it's anti-Semitism under the broader category of a hate crime. So an anti-Semitic hate crime is illegal, not necessarily because it's anti-Semitic, but because it's a hate crime. The main problem is that in places like France, you have things like it is illegal to deny the big H. We don't say the word here, the really bad thing that happened to the Jewish people in World War II. It's illegal to promote denying that event, right? And this is one of the reasons why I say that I oppose that law in France. Not because I think that what it's trying to prevent is a good thing. I don't like people that deny that event happened. Let me be clear. But because that prohibition on a free expression is then used to validate their positions on unreasonably curtailing other people's free expression when it comes to Islamic criticism, essentially. They just point the finger and they go, well, they do it over there. Why can't we do it for this? Da, da, da. First of all, I think these are different comparisons. Like, one is about a crime against humanity, and then one is like a sacred religion, right? Those are already different. But one of them happened to a religious group of people, right? But either way, like, neither of these restrictions should be in place. But because this one in France, for example, is already in place, they then go, oh, well, this is a good reason why we should have it over here. And we're going to use it to protect Islam, not actually Muslims. So,
yeah. Anyways, we do need to move on. There's a whole bunch of comments. So we got a super chat by GJ
gave
saying
us
negative.
euros.
Saying thank you so much for the support. Saying negative, secular jihadist is not Atheist Republic. Don't brush me off with a pacifier. Okay, so Susanna, you're hearing the demands of the people that we change the time of the show. Do you want to? We could address that maybe off air.
We actually have been thinking about moving it, but we'll have to do that. We'll have to have another discussion about that.
Yeah. So again, me and Susanna's times are also, our schedule is, it has to work with me and Susanna's schedule as well, because to see what works for us. But we're trying our best. We're trying our best. We have heard your requests. Okay. Other people could also comment, let us know what works best for them. But we are trying to do our best to make it work for more people. Okay. So thank you for bringing it to our attention. And we just got another super chat. It will show up very soon here. So thank you so much again, GJ, with the €6 super chat, saying the term Islamophobia renders human rights to a system of ideas called Islam, and it's constantly used to shut down debate. Exactly.
Yep,
That's what
exactly. You said it yourself.
Yeah.
And this comment by Asian American just really gets me. So Asian American is yelling at this Malaysian official, saying, "Stand up to the PRC, you spineless, cantankerous cowards." Basically, if you care so much about Islamophobia, why don't you go fight China over the fact that they have Muslims in concentration camps?
Well,
why don't you talk about that?
Right after they fight France, because fighting France over Muhammad cartoons takes priority. Fighting France over Muhammad cartoons is more important than fighting China over putting 1 million Muslims and more in concentration camps.
What's their thought process? They're like, oh, don't worry, they'll understand. What?
Yes.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. By the way, Young Atheist just asked, please post or link the Discord link. Yes, I did. By the way, it's still under. Thank you guys for joining our Discord. Again, go there. It might be a little bit quiet there right now, but go and make it active so more people, when they come to our Discord, they see that it's active. So it's your job to make it active. So thank you for that. And Susie, you highlighted a whole bunch of other comments.
No, that's fine. Let's go to the next news.
Okay, let's go to the next news. Okay, let me bring it up. Ooh, back to India.
Oh yeah, this is freaking crazy.
Clappable?
This is crazy. This is not clappable.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you, Newman. He's gonna make our Discord active. Thank you. All right. Oh, I wasn't clapping. That was just me going like this. All right. Next news.
Extremist monk sparks outrage by asking Hindus to kill Muslims and Christians. Okay, let me start off this segment by saying, dear YouTube, let us all pray to the YouTube gods right now. Everyone raise your hands. Dear YouTube gods, we are not promoting violence against any group of individuals. We are merely talking about other people that are saying dangerous things, and we are talking about this so that we can condemn them and prevent other people from holding these ideas and spreading them themselves. This is firmly against any hate speech, and we are talking about it for the purposes of education and raising awareness. Okay, now that we have said our prayer to the YouTube gods, let us talk about this story. Okay. On February 5th, at Delhi's Jantar Mantar, various Hindutva groups organized events where calls for killing Muslims and Christians were made. A video of the event went viral on social media, where a Hindu spiritual leader, whose name is Dhirendra Krishna Shastri, is seen urging the Hindu community to take up arms and kill Muslims and Christians. He asked, quote, "When will you slay and kill? After all of you die? When will you kill them? When will you kill Muslims and Christians?"
Okay. I think we need to again say YouTube. I think at this point we need to again cut this here and tell YouTube again that this is just the news. We are against any form of violence and we condemn this. This is evil. We do not stand for this. We're just reporting what's happening on the news, and we're trying to bring attention to a problematic issue. Okay,
exactly.
We're not okay. So, okay, go on.
We're gonna have to say that a third time after this next quote.
Oh no.
He urged the Hindus to have access to weapons at all times in their homes and kill anyone who would, quote unquote, attack them. Keep Shastra arms in one hand, and Shastra, I can't pronounce it the different ways, but Shastra, religious scriptures, in the other. It's like a play on words. Whoever attacks our community, our scriptures, our mothers, our sisters, convict them of sedition and shoot them at the border. Kill them on the roads, the monk said. YouTube, once again, this is the quote of someone who we are condemning. We do not stand for this. We are against it. Okay.
Stop it. Don't stop it.
Although no legal actions were taken, this is so crazy. Although no legal actions were taken against any event speakers, a note issued by the Delhi police, a notice was issued by the Delhi police against Molotix, an online portal that reported on these events. Anudeep Jaglan, the founder and director of Molotix, replied to the Delhi forces in a tweet about the notice, saying, "I'm still confused. Why would you send this to us? I hope such a notice must have gone to these saffron-clad criminals too." So just to clarify that, legal action was not taken against the people openly inciting violence, but against the journalists that reported it.
What?
Should I repeat that?
Yes.
They did not take action against the person inciting violence, but against the journalist agency that reported on it. Shared a video of it.
Are you sure this is not Iran? We're talking India? This is India. This is not Iran.
Yeah, this is in Delhi.
Okay. Just checking to make sure that arresting journalists for reporting the news is
they weren't arrested. They were issued a notice.
Okay.
Oh, damn it. The lights keep on turning off automatically in here. Sorry.
It's okay.
This is so wild. Like, one of the people on our team sent this to me as a news suggestion, and it's just like, what do you even say? I think I replied something along the lines of like, this dude has no chill. Like, you think of monks are supposed to be like, finding nirvana. They're supposed to be like blissed out. They're supposed to be like non-attached. They're supposed to, like have sources of wisdom that transcends, our own ego. And this is the complete reverse of that. Like, I have seen so much, some of the most extremely hateful things I have ever heard of, have come from Hindu monks. Like, what is, I just don't even know what to say. I really don't even know what to say. Armin, I mean, What is your reaction? I mean,
Well, Mohsen Khan in the live chat is saying, thanks to our beloved Modi, India has become much more like a fascist, intolerant, religious fanatic, authoritative regime. Yes, and this is supposed to be the largest secular democracy in the world. Yes, this is, if you're not Indian and you think this is an Indian issue, you are wrong. The world's largest secular democracy, having both its democratic and secular values being threatened. This is a threat to the planet. This is a step backwards for the planet, not just for India. So you have to take this very, very seriously. We did get a I will read the super chat, but it's not related to the news. So I'm gonna wait until we're done. There's a comment by Prometheus saying, which state is this again?
Delhi. What state is Delhi in? Let me double check. I can't remember off the top of my head.
All right. Prometheus is also saying, at least we don't like. Okay, so this is actually a very good point. Prometheus is making fun of the people who say every time we criticize Hinduism, there are some Hindu people like they come and say some Hindu apologists who come and say, at least we don't behead people, at least we don't kill people. Well, you don't have that excuse anymore. Oh, Delhi is Union territory, people are saying in the live chat.
Yeah, well, Delhi is its own state, I think, as well. Like it's a city and a union territory.
No, it's kind of doesn't.
I think it's like Washington D.C.
Yeah, exactly.
Washington D.C. is not a state; it's its own thing.
Yeah. Katie's saying, I remember reading about a bill or law which basically said that all journalism needs to be approved by the government. So there goes free press out of the window.
God help us.
Yes. So let me actually.
Oh wait, I want to make a very important correction. The person that said this was not Devendra Krishna Shastri, but the event was held in support of him. So I want to clarify that he wasn't the one that actually said that.
All right, so
because that's an important correction.
One-Eyed Heathen is saying, are other Hindus condemning this, Monk? Have you seen condemnations? I'm assuming there is. Like, I mean, first of all, the answer to this, even without me checking, is yes, probably yes. India is a big country. Like, of course, you're going to find Hindus condemning this. But was it like the question is like how much are like is it a big thing or is it like not that big? But yeah, I'm sure many Hindus will be condemning this. Of course. I even know, yeah. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure you could find millions of Hindus condemning this. There's that. Let me see if there's any other comments related to... No. So now the rest of the comments are not related to that news. GJ with another €6 super chat. Thank you so much for your support. The post is Islam's prophet not worth more to Allah than an infinite number of Muslims? Yes and no. You could find contradictory hadith on this. There are beliefs that, I mean, if you want to go Shia, because that stuff is going to get really wacko. So there is this hadith that says that Allah created everything for the sake of Prophet Muhammad. Or was that Ali? Yeah, for the sake of Prophet Muhammad. So in that sense, he is worth more than everybody else. But we also have hadith saying all Muslims are equal. So, I mean, given that Muhammad is a Muslim and every other Muslim is a Muslim, that will contradict that. So, yeah, you have contradictory reports on that in Islamic scripture. There's that. And also, this is a very interesting comment. One-Eyed Heathen saying, I really love how people are so tuned in to world politics over here. I learned so much for my being here. Even listened to an audiobook that was suggested to me here. That's very
awesome.
good.
Yeah. This is one thing I love the most about our community is like we pay attention to stuff way outside our own countries, our own bubbles.
And One-Eyed Heathen is saying, I clap with you guys when you do Next News now. So I'm just imagining One-Eyed News just like listening to us by somewhere and just going Next News every time we do it.
Sometimes I watch our shows back so I can like pay attention and give myself like notes and stuff. And I still clap when I'm watching too.
You do? Really? That's adorable. Yeah. I like that. And also this one, Prometheus is saying too many channels on Discord, so confusing. But for people who are new on Discord, it could be a little bit confusing at first, but once you get used to it, Discord will make sense. Okay, just navigate around, and eventually it will get kind of for
Discord
some reason.
in general, it's not even like just our server. Discord in general, I find very confusing because everyone runs their server a little bit differently. Anyways,
Yes.
but
But again, link to our Discord server is in the description. Please go there and try to make it active. That would actually really be helpful to our community if you go there and just make it active.
Yeah. In fact, if you find a story that you want to see us talk about on this show, you can tell us on our Discord.
Okay. Is the next? Oh no, the next news is not clappable.
Oh no, this is really sad.
Okay. Okay. Next news is from Iraq, and okay. Next news.
Next news: honor killing of Iraqi YouTuber sparks mass outrage. On January 31st, a young female Iraqi YouTube star was murdered by her father in the southern province of Diwaniyah. The victim was identified as 22-year-old Tiba al-Ali. The news of this murder was announced by Iraq's Interior Ministry spokesman Saad Mann on Twitter. Tiba had gained a sizable following on YouTube, with her channel garnering over 25,000 subscribers. A police source verified that Tiba traveled to Turkey with her family in 2017, but refused to return with them and chose to stay in Turkey instead, where she had lived ever since. She posted content about her daily life, which often featured her fiancé, Mohammed. She was visiting family in Iraq recently to, quote, resolve the family dispute in a definitive manner. Upon her death, unverified audio recordings of Tiba and her father's conversations show that Tiba fled because she was RAPE'd by her brother, but nevertheless, her father disapproved of her choice to live in Turkey. Her father admitted that he killed her in his initial confessions. Tiba's murder ignited outrage among Iraqis on social media who held protests in Baghdad on February 5th.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. So I think this is really important to talk about because it highlights a few broader, one, this is like a young woman who lost her life because she wanted to live somewhere safer for herself, where she didn't have to be in community with her brother, who did one of the most horrific things you can do to someone, let alone your own sister. Okay. And then it plays into broader issues like, this is so crazy to me. Let me pull up the exact quote so that I don't misreport it, because I couldn't believe this. Where is it? To date, no law in Iraq criminalizes domestic violence.
Wait, you could there's no laws? You could just beat your wife or your daughter? And
this is what was reported in Al Jazeera a few days ago.
Oh, wow.
To date, no law in Iraq criminalizes domestic violence. A draft domestic violence law was first introduced into parliament in 2014, but progress has stalled amid widespread political opposition from legislators who believe that it would, quote, erode Iraq's social fabric. And yeah, Unfriendly Atheist is saying that's Islam. So, like, we talk about this often when it comes to honor killings, Armin, especially when it comes from an Islamic context, that technically the honor killing itself is not Islamic. It's not technically halal, all this stuff.
But the abuse is.
What is Islamic?
Abuse.
What is Islamic is that if you do kill your own flesh and blood, there is less punishment if that person is a female. It's less punishment if it is your own daughter. And that's reflected in Iraq's penal codes right now. If you kill your own daughter or sister, there is less punishment than if it was a man that was killed. And then it's also reflective of Islam in the sense that we know, like Surah 434, that beating is actively mandated in certain contexts. And so when people are saying we can't have a domestic violence law, anti-domestic violence law, because it would erode our social fabric, these are some of the broader, like, that's coming from somewhere.
Right.
Am I making sense?
Yeah. So basically, I will rephrase this, and you let me know if I'm making sense or not. Okay. So what is not allowed in Islam is for you to kill your wife, your daughter, or your sister. That is not allowed in Islam. Okay. That is condemned in Islam. However, honor killing is still related to Islam for 3 reasons. So again, killing your wife, killing your daughter, killing your sister, haram, it's a sin in Islam. But Islam, okay, tells you, not only allows it, but mandates it, that you beat your disobedient wives after you try 2 other things if it doesn't work, right? And that does 2 things. It normalizes physical violence on women, and it also makes it difficult for you to have laws that protects women, because that would be un-Islamic laws if you want to introduce that, because you're basically challenging the Quran. So that's the first reason why honor killings are more likely when Islam is being adhered to. 2, Islam requires less punishment for killing of women in your family than men. So for example, if you kill your son, you will get a much more, Islamically, for example, in Iran, you get a much more severe punishment than if you kill your own daughter. Even in Iran, for example, we have no punishments for you if you kill your wife in an act of jealousy, if you catch your wife in the moment of cheating, right? So if you do that, then you're completely excused by the law. So if you, in that specific condition, right? So the lack of punishment. So if you kill, for example, if you kill your own daughter in Iran, you could go to prison and you will be released very shortly after. So sometimes based on that calculation, a lot of fathers decide, like, okay, that's not that long of a, I'll go to prison for 2 years, but I will have cleared my family's name, so 2 years is worth it. So because of the less of a punishment, more men will decide that this is worth doing, right? And the third reason why Islam is responsible for, honor killings, is because of the qairat and shame culture and modesty culture, and the thing that drives men to go and cleanse their honor is the idea that this is shameful, this is disgusting, and this brings dishonor to the family and to you as a man who can't control your woman. So even though Islam doesn't tell you to go kill them, the fact that the level of disgust and shame associated with having women in your family that does sexual things that you are, or revealing things that you do not approve of, that level of disgust is the main driver why people even go do these honor killings. So in that respect, Islam is also responsible for that. So for these 3 reasons, even though Islam doesn't tell you to go do honor killing, for these 3 reasons, Islam is still responsible for honor killing. Does that make sense?
Completely. Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really sad. There was one quote that I wanted to read by an Iraqi female politician that I think sums it up very well. One second. Where did it go? Okay, so here's the quote. Women in our societies are hostage to backward customs due to the absence of legal deterrence and government measures, which are currently not commensurate with the size of domestic violence crimes, wrote veteran politician Ala Talabani on Twitter. And I think that, just like sums up the issue very well. D is asking, she asked, is there anything like DCWF in Muslim countries? I don't know what DCWF is. Like, if there is obvious abuse, is there any state agency that can get involved? That's a good question. I don't know.
But it depends on the Muslim country. I think there might be, in some of them, yes, and some of them, no.
What about Iran? Do they have social services for abused women?
I would guess yes. I would guess there would be, but again, I don't know how much capable, what resources do they have, and what they can do. It could be. Mm-hmm. So it's like it's not that black and white. It's not like, oh, you have these in Western or more advanced countries, and it's just completely absent in these Islamic countries. It's mostly like a spectrum, right? So you have it somewhat present in some Islamic countries. You might be close to zero in some of them. There might be some, a huge presence of them like in Iran, but maybe they're limited because of the Islamic laws on what they can do and how much they could fight. So again, it's a spectrum, and you have to I know even in one country it could be different. Like, for example, what I would guess without checking, I could be wrong about this, right? I would assume that in Tehran you would find a lot more resources like that than cities in Sistan Baluchistan, for example. Like, I would assume that a husband beating their wife is going to be more likely to be able to get away with it in Iran if they live in Sistan Baluchistan, compared to living in Tehran. Again, I'm not saying it's an absolute thing. I'm just saying more likely. It's not that black and white, right? So it really depends. Yeah, there we go.
Can you go? Wait, pause. Pause is saying, Iran? Are you out of your mind?
Why? What happened? I don't get this.
Like, because you're just talking about, like, oh, in Iran they might actually have these kinds of systems, Like, people have a stereotype about what Iran is like. I don't know. I don't know if we want to get into this all right now. Because
wait, hold on. Let me see. Let me show you something. Maybe you want me to. If I could find this.
No, we should go to the next segment.
No, I want to make me break your mind.
Well, you do that every day. What's special about this one?
Crap, I can't find it. So what I wanted to find a video of is in Iran, in Tehran. So Iran is an Islamic country, right? But if you go to the rich areas, I was going to find a video of a very luxurious cafe in Iran that has a pool and has like an area and a salon, right? Mm-hmm. For dog owners, and the whole point of the salon and the pool and the activities is for their dogs. So rich people come and pay a lot of money with their dogs. So for their dogs to have their nail done, have their get a haircut, have them swim in the pool, get petted, get massage. Mm-hmm. And in Islam, having dogs is like haram, right? But again, there is a difference made for rich people. Rich people, there's this very luxurious cafe where the owners come and they're served, and it's very high end looking, and the dogs are having the time of their life, and their staff there waiting to respond to all the owners' needs and everything. So again, your experience will vary depending on what class of society you're in. So even in an Islamic country like Iran, you have that cafe. So if I could find that video, it would be very impressive. Anyways, okay, so let's move on. Can I clap for the? Hold on, let me unselect this. Can I clap for the next news?
Yes, this next news was fascinating. It takes some twists and turns.
All right, next news.
Mass arrests from child marriage crackdown trigger Indian women to protest. So let's be clear. They're not protesting against child marriage. They're protesting against the crackdown on child marriage. It is not, this was very interesting to me. There's many different angles here. Since February 3rd, more than 2,400 people in the Indian state of Assam have been arrested, which include husbands and relatives of alleged child brides, along with priests who conducted the marriages. Hundreds of women have protested against the measure initiated by the Assam state government. Himanta Biswa Sarma, Assam's chief minister, that's basically like the governor, stated that the government received police reports regarding child marriages that have named more than 8,100 people. He also told the authorities to act with zero tolerance. For context, although it's illegal for girls under 18 to marry in India, the practice persists in many parts of the country due to poverty and patriarchal traditions. However, there are exceptions for Muslims in the country who mostly get married under Muslim personal law, and it is legal for girls to marry once they reach puberty. So for people who don't know, there are different laws for different religions in India. So if you're a Muslim in India, you have different laws available to you, and you can get married younger than everyone else. Government data reports that more than 2 out of every 10 girls are married before they turn 18. The protesting women said the men were arrested by the authorities were the primary breadwinners for their families and that they were completely dependent on them. Quote, "My husband works in the fields and I'm completely dependent on him," one woman told reporters, adding that she doesn't know how to seek legal help since she only has a primary school level of education. Dee is bringing up a very good point. She's saying this is why it is important for women to be educated and financially independent. So, oh my goodness, there's so much going on here. There's so much going on here. And it really, the more I looked into this story, I became very, very interested. So for context, Assam is a state in the very eastern edge of India that borders Bangladesh. And so it has a very high Muslim population, especially in comparison to many other states in India. And there's a lot of tension with the Muslim population there. Now, the chief minister of this state, Assam, is part of the BJP, which is a very Hindu nationalist party that takes a very hardline stance against the Muslim population in general. And so there's a lot of context here because he's having a very firm crackdown on child marriage in the state. And he's saying, we're only hitting the tip of the iceberg. We're going to keep doing this crackdown until we're going to keep this crackdown going on until the next elections in the state, which were reportedly 2026. And he said a quote along the lines of like, for us to ban or banish child marriage for future generations, one generation will have to suffer. And so I guess the idea is to create a strong message and a strong disincentive towards engaging in these practices. Now, there's a lot of people who have come out against this, including people who are part of the supposed liberal parties that are part of the Congress Party, for example. And I don't know how I feel about the way that they talked about this issue. The way that Congress is the representatives that I saw quoted, the way that they were talking about this issue is so gross to me. Like, they are essentially excusing a lot of what happens, but then they also bring up, and then they do kind of like it's not exactly whataboutism, but they're like, oh, this has been an issue for so long. Why are you taking action just right now? Like, what's so special about right now? Do you have an agenda? I mean, every politician has an agenda. And then the other thing that they say, and this is a criticism that I don't know how true this is, but the criticism is basically like, we don't know how how verifiable these cases are. Like these mass arrests that you've done, how much information do we actually have against all of these individuals? How much information do we actually have against all these defendants? Or are you just rounding people up unjustifiably? Like, how credible are your claims about all these people engaging in child marriage? Which that's a better concern or criticism to have. But then the other criticism that I've seen people in the opposing parties opposing the BJP said was, oh, well, these cases are too old. We shouldn't, worry about super old cases, If someone was married 1 or 2 years ago and now they have a happy family, you're splitting up a family. And I'm like, what? 1 or 2 years ago, that person could still be a child and it would still be illegal under most of the other areas of the penal code in India. But the only reason why it's different is because it's under Muslim personal law. So if this was any other child, if this was a child from any other background, this would be firmly illegal. But because it's under Muslim personal law, you're making these excuses. So it's, Armin, what do you think about everything I just explained to you?
Those are very good points. I think this is a good comment by Katie I wanted to highlight. You want to read that?
Yeah. Katie is saying these women have been raised to uphold these horrible traditions and patriarchal values. It's all they have known. It's what happens when you take away the only thing people know in their lives. And that's very true. And we do have to acknowledge the fact that these women are dependent on their husbands because of their communities, because of their societies, because they were taken out of education to get married at a very early age. They are fully dependent on these men. And this is the thing. The reality is these women are genuinely put in a really bad position because of this. That's a fact. But
also,
that doesn't mean that we shouldn't crack down on child marriage.
Also, if you approach a child and then you're with them and you're having sexual relationships with them, and now they're an adult, and now you want to let go of that because they are adult, you basically are allowing grooming. Because, I mean, a child's mind is very flexible and it's very impressionable, and you could make them, this could be a Stockholm syndrome situation. So if you allow that, if you don't go after it because now they're happy, that is basically the definition of grooming, because grooming requires making your victims agree with the conditions. Yeah, go on.
I'm sorry for interrupting. I just got really passionate about something. So this freaking, I can't remember the name of this person, but someone from the Congress party was basically saying, oh, well, if it happened 1 or 2 years ago, what are we doing about this now? Blah, blah, blah. The chief minister from the BJP said something that's true. He's like, child marriage is RAPE. Mm-hmm. I agree with him. And I can't say the word because of YouTube. Child marriage is RAPE. So this freaking dumbass from Congress is like, oh, well, if they have a happy family now, we're splitting up a family, or whatever they said. I could pull up the exact quote if we want to steel man them. But if you're going to dismiss that this happened just because it happened 1 or 2 years ago, you're dismissing an RAPE that happened that recently. You're just going to, like, what?
What do you think about this comment from Katie?
Katie is saying BJP is certainly not consistent on this issue. A couple of years ago, a BJP politician suggested child marriage is the solution to unmarried couples eloping. I'm laughing because that's insane. Yeah, do I really expect the BJP to be consistent on anything? Any political party. I don't expect any political party to be consistent on anything, let alone the largest political party in the world. So that's not surprising to me at all. But the dynamics of this situation going on here is really it's driving me crazy. I don't know. I was very frustrated by the, for lack of a better term, reactionary reaction from the parties that oppose the BJP. Like, I oppose the BJP, but that doesn't mean that maybe they could have, I don't know how you would approach the situation in a better way, Because I mean, there are people that are going to be further pushed into poverty because of this. I don't like that. But people like the excuses from the so-called left-leaning people over this issue is disgusting. It's absolutely reprehensible. God, just freaking embarrassing. I apologize.
That's good. Yeah.
Oh, Dee is. Oh my goodness. I think she might be right. Dee is saying the truth is to stop this, you'll have to break up families.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's complicated. By the way, Qasim is also having a huge double standard here, because when I interrupt you, he gets
awesome
so.
John. That's right. He's saying you are free to interrupt him, Susie. In Farsi, your interruption by ikhtiyar.
Yeah, it means you're completely free to interrupt me, because when I interrupt you, this guy gets like all butthurt and stuff, right? So this is this is absolute sexism. No, this is sexism.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious. I'm not joking. All right, can we clap for the next news? Oh, we have from Turkey. Hi.
Oh yeah, I mean we can
clap
for this. This is just a little bit. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just a little like whoa.
Oh, whoa! I like that.
Next news. Hindu nationalists hold massive rally in Mumbai against love jihad. On January 29th, several Hindu organizations held a protest rally against love jihad and religious conversions in Mumbai, India. Many leaders from the Bharatiya Janata Party, or BJP for short, attended the rally. One of the speakers of the event, the serial hate monger T. Raja Singh, urged the Hindus to boycott goods from Muslim shops and called for lawful actions against love jihad and religious conversions. He said, quote, "Our sisters and daughters are falling prey to the systematic designs of the other community." Last year, Singh was suspended from the BJP for allegedly posting a video that contained disparaging remarks about the Islamic prophet Muhammad. He added, quote, "A specific community grabs land by building places of worship in any vacant plot of land. The citizens of Mumbai are opposed to this." He was referencing the conspiracy of land jihad, wherein Muslims illegally buy homes in areas where Hindus are predominant to take over that locality within a few years. A petition was filed by oh wait, actually, never mind. I don't want to get into that portion of the news. So this is pretty interesting. For context, let me back up here. So we have talked about this dude, T. Raja Singh, many times before on this show. So T. Raja Singh put out a video last year blaspheming against the Prophet Muhammad, and this was very shortly after oh my God, Nupur Sharma. Very shortly after, the BJP spokeswoman Nupur Sharma made some statements that made the Muslim world freaking lose its mind and basically caused a diplomatic crisis for India. And then ever since that happened, the BJP was scared that it scared the piss out of them. And then the BJP started cracking down on people that talk badly about Islam, even though they are so against Muslims. So it's like, that's how much even they are scared. And so this guy put out a video saying some wild stuff about Muhammad. I mean, it was genuinely pretty explicit. And the BJP even they're so scared that they kicked him out too. And he's continued on in his political career. He's a serial hate monger. He's had over 101 indictments against him, and somehow there's not really been anything that continued from that. So he has a really long history of these things. Anyways, he was, part of this big march that happened, and there were all these petitions that were filed to try to prevent the march from happening to begin with, because this person was like, hey, there's going to be hate speech, incitement to violence at this event. This is against the law. And basically they're like, oh, well, this is allowed to happen as long as hate speech doesn't happen at this event. And newsflash, hate speech did happen at the event. But I want to show you some footage of it. So Armin, if you scroll down in the news article, we should have some footage just to show how big it is. We don't really need audio. I just want to show the size of the crowd.
You gave me a Twitter video that shows this even more.
Yeah, no, please show that one too, because that blew my mind.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
It's in the show notes.
Yeah, I know. I saw it here. This one. Wow.
This is crazy. Can you full screen this too?
Yeah, look at this. That is
so
crazy.
big. That's probably at least 200,000 people, if not more, like maybe 230,000.
That is insane. For love jihad?
Yes.
What is happening? Oh my God.
Seeing that video was what made me want to cover this story, actually. Because that really drove home for me. I mean, I already knew like how big and how popular this was, right? But it's another thing to see people that are so compelled over it that they take to the street to show it, right? Which means that there's probably like 10 times as many other people who feel strongly about it but couldn't show up in person.
I want to ask ChatGPT what is love jihad. You think
also,
it was...
do you know that you always say ChatGPT instead of GPT?
Yes, GPT. Okay, I don't know why I say that. Yeah, let me see. Let's see if it will accept that this is a conspiracy theory or not. It says love jihad is a term used by some Hindu nationalist groups in India to describe a perceived, phenomena of Muslims men targeting non-Muslim women for conversion to Islam through romantic relationships. The term has been used to spread fear and mistrust between communities, and there have been instances of violence against interfaith couples. However, the concept of love jihad has been widely discredited. Okay, good. Okay, widely discredited by scholars and human rights organizations who view it as a baseless and divisive conspiracy theory. There is no credible evidence to support the existence of a coordinated campaign to convert non-Muslim women to Islam through relationships, and the term is often used to justify discrimination, hate crimes, and violence against Muslims. It is important to note that individuals have the right to freedom of religion and the right to choose their own partners, and that any efforts to force or coerce someone to change their religion are contrary to the principles of equality, justice, and human rights. Okay, so pretty good take by ChatGPT. PT, not BT. Why do I always say BT? But it's pretty good. Yeah, I like this one. So more accurate takes on Hindu-related stuff than Islam-related stuff so far.
Wasn't that just typical?
Yeah.
Let me put my conspiracy hat on.
Oh my God. Oh, look at this. Shreya is saying ChatGPT has become another member of the streams and gets treated like an expert.
Oh, it's also Chad GPT.
ChatGPT.
That's what you should call it now.
ChatGPT. Okay. AI jihad. Okay. All right, we should. Oh, you have something on the screen. Do you want me to?
No, that's for the next news.
Okay. All right, let's go to the. Oh wait, so I'm not sharing anything for the next news, right? It's just you.
No. Okay. Well, actually, in the show notes, because guys, we switched up our plan like of what we're going to cover for the last moment. So I put up a few things you can show on Instagram. So let's go through that first.
Okay. No, wait a
but
second.
I'll explain the context.
I hate autoplay on Instagram. I absolutely hate it. And I absolutely hate the fact that it starts without audio. And then when you pause it, there's no way to go back to there's no way to scroll to the beginning and watch it from with audio. Like, it's just the worst. On desktop, it has the worst user interface. I don't understand how such a giant company doesn't get this thing right. Like, it starts without audio for a little bit, and now I pause it and I turn on the audio, but there's no way for me to go back to the start. It's insane. All right. So should I play, or do you want to first explain?
No, I'll explain context. So, everyone, yesterday was essentially the 44th birthday of the Islamic Republic of Iran. So, is it February 10th or February 11th? Is seen as basically the day that the Shah left Iran and that Ayatollah Khomeini came to power. So it is celebrated as the anniversary of the Islamic Republic. And so ever since, the death in custody of Mahsa Amini in September of last year, Iranians have been organizing mass demonstrations across many cities across the world. And usually there's one in like every major city, probably every week since September. And however, for this, special occasion, for this anniversary, so to speak, people in opposition to the Islamic Republic organized mass demonstrations. So instead of having a bunch of different demonstrations in every little city, what they said was, we're all going to go to a major city. So in the US, everyone from the West Coast goes to Los Angeles. Everyone from the East Coast go to Washington, D.C. Like, everyone cannot East Coast, go to Toronto. There were big ones in Dusseldorf for all of Europe. There was a huge one in London. There was a huge one in Sydney. Places like this. So it was kind of like, we are all going to collect in these certain cities to maximize our attendance. And so I was so excited. I went to this demonstration in Iran. And, excuse me, not in Iran. I went to the demonstration in Los Angeles. And I wanted to share with you guys my experience at this demonstration, because there are estimates that in Los Angeles, there were 180,000 people there, which makes it the largest demonstration for free Iran in history, the largest demonstration of Iranians outside of Iran in history. And so given that this just happened yesterday and I had this amazing experience, I wanted to share it with you guys, and I'm going to show some photos and lots of different footage that came out and tell you about the different speakers we had. So Armin, you can play this just to show like the size of the crowd.
Okay, here it goes. Wait, there's no audio.
Yeah, because this is just a drone shot.
Okay. Wow.
When I tell you, like, I lost my friends at one point, and I did not find them for hours. I just gave up. I was like, there's no way I'm going to find them. And actually, we did end up running into each other because there were people as far as the eye could see.
This is LA, people. Crazy. This is LA. This is not Iran. This is LA.
It wasn't Los Angeles that day. It was Tehrangeles, okay?
Tehrangeles. Wow. Okay, wait, see, this is another problem with Instagram. I don't know how much more. Oh,
this one's almost done.
Look at all these people.
Yeah.
All right.
It was wild. Okay, go to the next one.
Okay. This one?
Yes. Okay. Wait. Pause. So, Armin, it's gonna start with one shawar, and then it's gonna go into a different shawar, and you're gonna know which one I'm talking about when the next one starts. Okay. And
Okay.
I think you should explain what the shawar means, and then we
The
can
chant
listen to it.
helps people chant, so people know the chant. What the
Yeah.
chant means.
So and then I just want us to listen to it. Because
Okay.
hearing this many people say this specific chant gave me goosebumps.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
just play and then explain and then play again.
So people are chanting. This is one of my favorite chants. One of my favorite chants that came out of this revolution. People are saying, "We hate your religion. Curse be upon your rituals." Okay. So this part is very interesting. This part is saying that I hate the mark on your forehead, the dark mark on your forehead. So for people who don't understand, in Iran, there's this thing that you see some people have a dark mark around here, and it's supposed to be showing that these people are so religious, because the Shias, when they pray upon a clay, piece of clay, that is made into like a circle. And the idea is that you're praying so much and your forehead is touching it so much that it makes this area dark, right? But it's also a fact that you actually can't pray enough for you to get that dark, and people actually rub it on their forehead to show that they're religious. So he's saying that. So this part of the chant is saying, we hate, we hate your religion, right? We hate your rituals, and this mark, which is basically a reference to being two-faced and pretending to be virtuous when you're not, and your hearts of stone. So we hate your religion, your curse be upon your rituals. We hate you being two-faced, and we hate your hearts of stone, right? So, by the way, the translation just doesn't capture this chant, because in Persian it just comes off as so powerful. Yeah, but let me see if it's. I want to hear it one more time. Just without. So good. So good. Just so powerful. Oh my God. I fucking love this. Love this, people.
But like the
Amazing.
strength of hearing that many people say it in unison was crazy to experience like live. It was crazy.
Have you ever seen a revolution, a protest of this many people chanting, "I hate your religion"? Like, I'm telling you guys, this is the most anti-religious, the most secular revolution, and I'm including the French Revolution. There has never been a bigger mass movement against religious values in history. Okay, this is a big deal. And the fact that more atheist channels are not covering this is a shame. It's disgusting. I don't even know what to do. Like, where is the solidarity? Where is the unity? Where is the support from other atheists?
Yeah.
Anyways.
Dia's asking, Armin, did you ever think that you would see this?
No, not at all. Not at all. Yeah. There's how many videos? There was another video. Oh, a third video. Okay, let's do the other one. Yeah, I mean, young atheist is saying this, and some people might think that they're exaggerating, but I completely agree with this. This revolution is more powerful than the French Revolution. I do think. Well, I mean, I don't know about powerful, because the French Revolution ended up spreading all these values that the secular, democratic, and liberal values that these people are fighting for. It wouldn't have been so widespread if the French Revolution, maybe it wouldn't be if it didn't happen, right? But when it comes to it being have a secular and anti-religious stance, I think compared to the French Revolution, this is the first of its kind in history. So in that aspect, I do agree with you.
I love this comment from Katie. She's saying, I took a Jinjian Azadi poster to Pride in my city 2 months ago. That makes my heart so happy. You have no idea, Katie. Oh my God.
By the way, this is in India.
Yeah. Young Atheist is saying, no one covers this. That's why I love Atheist Republic. India is saying, yes, other atheist channels are failing us by not covering this.
Yes. To be fair, Apostate Prophet covered this, right? So Apostate Prophet covered this. So thank you to Apostate Prophet. But Genetically Modified Skeptic, I messaged them a couple of times. No response, no coverage on this. The biggest atheist channel on this, right? Cosmic Skeptic, no coverage on this. Rationality Rules, so far yet no coverage on this, right? Matt Dillahunty, no coverage on this. I do think the ACA on their news channel, they did cover this, so credit to them, right? I do think the Freedom from Religion Foundation has done this.
Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, has covered this, so credit to them. I don't know if the American Atheists have done or not, but I'm going to check. But again, the main YouTube channels, the main atheist YouTube channels, which is the Cosmic Skeptic, Genetically Modified Skeptic, Rationality Rules, no, not even, they didn't even touch this, which is a shame. Like when we needed these channels the most, these are, yeah. But Matt Dillahunty also no coverage. By the way, if you guys are wondering, Matt Dillahunty and ACA are separate, so not from now, so they're not the same thing anymore. Anyways, let me cover this one. Yeah.
Yes.
The BBC.
No. We already did this one.
No, this one is similar to this one, but it's different.
Oh, okay. Sorry. No, this, the BBC one has additional footage, not just this moment.
Okay, so should I play the BBC one?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. Wait, there's no idea. God damn it. I'm surprised BBC is covering this show. Oh, yeah.
Just more videos. So huge.
Oh, so look at this. They're wearing Handmaid's Tale costume because they reflect the when I watched the first season of the Handmaid's Tale, I was like, this is Iran. Is this about Iran? Like, because it was reflecting, it was such an amazing copy of the situation in Iran, like the whole TV series. So this is why people are wearing this, because it's actually a good.
The original book actually was inspired by what happened to women in Iran.
Really? Is that real? Because I heard, because when I was watching the TV series, like, this show is about Iran, isn't it? But but I was like, no, it just happens to be similar. But then I heard people are like, no, it was inspired by Iran. I was like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. So, but yeah, go on.
Human rights for Iran!
So that last chant is important because they're saying this is the last message. The target is the entirety of the regime, right? Because the reason why the people are constantly saying our target is the entirety of the regime this is an anti-reform message, right? Because this is in response to people think that, oh, maybe the government could improve, maybe we could have some reforms. So there's so many chants that constantly point to that, no to reforms, no to changes. We want the complete toppling of this regime. There's no negotiation. They don't even want a referendum, because a referendum, if there is a referendum, this should be after the toppling. They don't want a referendum that is maintained or managed by this regime. So there's no negotiation with this regime. By the way, we did get a super chat. I forgot to mention the Secular Sakai just gave us $20 super chat. So thank you so much, Secular Sakai, for the support, and also gifted a membership to Digital Nomad. So thank you so much.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah, that's very sweet. Thank you guys for the support. Yeah. Do you have any pictures of yourself in the protest during the protest?
Here's the deal. I have a lot of pictures and I have a lot of videos, but I can't figure out how to share this without like exposing my whole freaking life on my computer. Live on air. So if you're patient with me, I can pull them up.
Okay. Also, guys, go follow Susanna. Oh, here, actually.
Oh, yeah. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw a lot of these already on my Instagram stories. So if you're not doing that, what are you doing? Link to my Instagram is in the description.
Yeah, this is Susanna's Instagram. Triple dimple. I like it. Do you know, guys? Yeah, exactly. Wait, this is because when Susie smiles, you see triple dimples. So that's why she's called triple dimpled. Oh, guys, this is great. Finally, Gotham got his membership, because he was always looking for membership. And I'm like, oh my gosh, look at this. Thank you to Secular Sakai for gifting Gotham a membership. This is amazing. Finally. Oh, look at my mark. Oh, yo, Gotham won. That's amazing. That's sweet. By the way, my Instagram is also here. My Instagram is the Armin Navabi. Wait, you're getting cut. I have no idea what you're saying. Robotic Susie. Oh, Qasim saying, I have tears in my eyes. Oh, look at this. You're back, Susie. Oh, there we go. Should I share your screen?
Okay, cool. I think I can figure out how to share some photos here.
Okay. Be careful not to. Should I put it on?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so when I was trying to shift everything into this folder, there might have been some duplication, so just bear with me. I'll just flip through my folders. So I was in the beginning I was by the main stage for quite a while, and it was so tight. We had oh my gosh, this singer, I can't remember her name. It's I'm so embarrassed. Layla F, something that starts with an F, but she's a very famous singer that came. She gave a speech. There was Taylor Hanson that came. He came and performed Boraye. This was a sign that I thought was really funny. It says Ayatollah Robert Malley, not our representative. So this is one of the American members of Biden's administration that advises. He's a special representative on Iran, and the community doesn't like him because he's always pushing for the nuclear deal, and they oppose the nuclear deal. So I just thought that this was funny. This is a photo of the big flag that was going down the street.
Wait, was it white in the middle, or did it have the lion and the sun?
It did have the Shiro Horshid.
Oh, Shiro Horshid. Okay.
Yeah. When you see photos of this demonstration, like even the photos that we showed earlier with the big chant, like it doesn't do the size of the crowd justice because it went around the block. Like you only see one block's worth of the demonstration, and the blocks in LA are huge. It wrapped around the block or multiple. Let me see. Oh yeah, here's is this the movie? Sorry, this is.
Do you have pictures of you in the middle of the protest?
Yeah, you could. Just a second. This is when we started the march. This is when I moved to a different area. I thought this was cool. Look at this.
Oh, amazing.
Like a guy with a combination Israeli-American flag and Iranian flag right next to each other. And the sign in the back is cool. It says,
you took these pictures?
Yeah, exactly. I took this photo.
Nice. These
And
are
then
guys.
holding the
We
shield.
have photos never. We have photos from the protest not seen anywhere else because these are
Yeah, exactly. Exclusive. Atheist Republic exclusive.
Yeah.
Again, if some of these, look at the size of this.
Wow.
Like all the way up. All the way up. Here was another one before. This was a different giant rolled out flag. This was in the beginning. It went like all the way down the edge of the park, and then people are writing like their messages on the flag. Here's another one. Yeah, okay. My phone duplicated these. It's kind of annoying. Wait, can I play this?
No, it's a picture. I want to see a picture.
No.
Oh, it's a video. Okay. There's no audio though.
Oh, you don't have audio?
No.
Damn.
Oh, because you shared with that audio. You didn't.
But I can't. It's not a tab. I can't share it the same way. But anyways, okay. So okay. Oh, I love this. I'll play this. Come on. Sorry,
there's
guys.
No audio.
It's really frustrating. No, there is.
For us, there's no audio.
Oh, God damn it. Here we go. Look at this.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's great.
You can't hear it, but they're all singing Iran.
Okay, you should put these on your Instagram.
No, I'm going to. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, you already saw these on my stories. Again, all these freaking repeats. Oh wait.
Oh, there we go. Yay!
Then you can't hear the you can't hear the audio.
Oh, look at you there. It's amazing.
Wait. Come on. Oh.
It's okay.
I'm so frustrated. Wait, here we go.
Oh, what are you saying? I wish we had
woman,
audio.
life, freedom.
Oh, you said woman, life, freedom? Oh,
yeah.
That's cute. That's adorable. This is so great that you went there.
My computer is going to make me lose my mind. Okay, here we go. And Vatan Nashabat.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna read some.
Yeah, you can't hear the audio, but if you could hear it, you could hear me going. Very clearly, my voice. Yeah. Anything else interesting going on here? Oh, this is just a cool mural that I found. And then the best way that we ended the night was we got falude. We went. We got Persian food. I had some bagale polo with chicken. We got beef kubide, okay. Tadig with the fesenjun, and then we got the falude. It was actually my first time having falude. It was really good.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I miss falude. Falude Shirazi. Yes, Shirazi falude. Falude. Wait. So yeah, Mariam is saying, "I love you, woman. You light up my life. I wish I could have been there." Okay. Wait. I don't know why Taz is asking about a book. He's like, "What is the book? Please say the name, guys. What is the book?" I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But Mariam, our local Persian woman, is saying, Armin, you have failed her then. That I haven't had falude so far. It's actually like kind of. I mean, I'm in Tehran.
I have had falude. What are you talking about? I said for a long time. Oh, okay.
She's saying you didn't introduce it to me. That you're failing.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Okay. There was something else I wanted to say. Oh wait. Someone is asking what is falude. It's spelled like this.
Yeah.
But falude is like it's
dessert spaghetti.
It's like a noodle that's made out of rice, I think, but it's very, very thin, and then you freeze it and then put it with like ice. It's almost like a kind of Persian ice cream. and then you put
Yeah.
syrups on top of it, almost like a snow cone.
It's like that.
It's really good.
It's basically very sweet, and it's noodly, and it's sweet. It's
Yeah,
really
like
good.
think like ice cream noodles.
Ice cream noodles is basically what it is. Yes.
Yeah, it's very good.
It comes from Shiraz, which is the same. Ooh, this one looks good.
Yeah. Well, I was with some Shirazis, so this is what happens. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Wow, these pictures are really good. I'll follow that. Now I really want to follow that. God damn it.
I know, seriously.
Okay. I should stop.
But yeah, it was a freaking amazing day. I didn't even talk about the most important part, Armin.
What? Tell me.
Reza Pahlavi gave a speech at the
Oh,
thing.
yeah,
How did I not even talk about this? That's the most
He
important
showed
part.
up. Yes, he showed up there. Yes,
Armin.
the guy, the son of the former king, before the Islamic Revolution, showed up there, and he gave a speech.
The Crown Prince of Iran. And when I tell you, like, the energy in the crowd was crazy.
Really?
When people realized that he was there, like, I can't even tell you, like, people, I mean, because you know how people get about Reza Pahlavi and the monarchy in general, because there are some batshit insane monarchists out there, let's be honest. And he, like, just seeing him in the crowd, I was like, oh my god. And I'm not even like a big monarchist person. I was like, oh my god, it's Shahzadeh. Like,
I mean, okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair. Supporting him does not mean we support monarchy. He
No, not at
himself
all.
says that he's not a monarchist. He is a Republican, right? A Republican is not as in American Republican. Republican as in, this is him basically. This is him showing up during thing. I saw a video of a woman hugging him and crying.
I know the story behind that. Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah, go on. Do you have the
So
video
the
of it?
woman who was like, actually, she was in the first frame of that video. Her name is Mahi Mokhtiari, and she is the sister of Muhammad Mokhtiari, who was part of the Green Revolution, and he was shot while he was protesting, shot like 3 times, and he got up and he still kept marching. So he was kind of like an early, not an early, but he, you know, he for that movement, for that uprising, he was a major face. It's almost like if Nika Sharkarami's sister or brother showed up, And I actually met her recently. I met Mahi recently, and I hugged her, and I told her, like, about how much I appreciate her activism. And she carries a framed photo of her brother, like, strapped to her chest at every demonstration she goes to, and she leads all the chants and stuff. And she was so nice to me. Yeah, so she had an opportunity to hug Reza Pahlavi, but people were
She was crying.
I mean, she was sobbing. I mean, and the people were like charging the stage, like freaking out. And there was an incident where, like, someone like tried to rush him and then they pulled him out. I don't know if it was just someone that got too excited or if it was a threat or what was going on. But, like, as soon as he showed up, the energy was just on a different level. I thought I was seeing a rock star. But he gave a speech which people really liked, but I mean, I didn't understand any of it because it was in Persian.
Yeah. Anyways, we should end this stream. Guys, make sure you like this video so that our channel grows. We do need your likes, or else our channel will not grow at all. And we do need your comments, but on all our videos. And if you're new here, please make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. Norman is saying, "I wish you a happy birthday." Still no reply. Okay, me?
That's very nice, but his birthday was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Maybe he's been carrying that sadness from all that time till now. But then I will say thank you so much for the happy wishes. Also, this one is saying, please talk. What is this? Do you know what it is? Please talk about I Show Speed, biggest streamer of YouTube and Twitch. He he has been dragged by Muslim and Christian missionaries. Okay, we could look
What
into
does
that.
that
Yeah,
mean?
I don't know. Maybe there's a news that we need to cover. But anyways, thank you for bringing it to our attention. We will look into it see if it's worth having one of our next week's news items about it. And yeah, again, Dee is saying tune in next week. We're going to be covering the 10 more news items next week. So make sure
Especially
you like and
the
subscribe.
horrible thing that happened in Pakistan. So that's very
Pakistan.
important to pay attention to. Definitely tune in for that.
Yes. All right. Oh, yeah. So finally, a reply. So he has been waiting for my reply. I'm sorry. I'm sometimes miss messages. I apologize, guys. Okay. Anyways, thank you, everybody, for being here, and thank you for staying with us for almost 3 hours now. And yeah, we'll see you guys again next. Oh, by the way, tune in for the Q&A. That's gonna come also with Secular Rarity. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll see you guys then. Thank you, guys.
Between the demonstration yesterday and doing the show for so long today, my voice is like.
Okay. All right, guys. All right. All right, guys. Bye. Mwah.